That was horrifying.
All right, welcome to LD12's monthly meeting. Today is March 10th. We hold our monthly meetings. Alex is outside. I want to thank you for joining today's meeting, either in person or virtually. Please be advised that our meetings are being recorded for documentation and reference purpose. By continuing to be a part of this meeting, you consent to being recorded. If you have any concerns or objections, please let the board know at the beginning of the meeting. And for those of you on Zoom, this is for viewing only and we are not able to interact, but we are working on that, and hopefully by the next meeting, we will be able to hear speakers from Zoom in the room, vice versa, and everything like that. So we have a wonderful agenda. It is all on your tables. I print out 100 of these before the meeting. It has the agenda, upcoming events, has contact information. Please take these home with you. I say this every month. I printed them just for you. Okay. Oh, Sherry's not here. Would you like to do the land acknowledgement? Sherry went to go get Girl Scout cookies for somebody.
Yes. Arizona LD12 Democrats acknowledges that the land we gather on today is the ancestral homelands of our indigenous nations that have inhabited these lands since time immemorial. We take this opportunity to thank the Ho'okam, including the Akimel O'odham Pima and Peepash Maricopa peoples of the past, present, and future for their traditional care of these lands and their resilience. Attached to this physical space is a painful history, a forced removal resulting in intentional genocide of its indigenous people. This history is important to all of us as a reminder not to cause further harm. We remain appreciative of our ability to teach, learn, and serve in a space of such importance and reverence. And for our educators in the room, the Heard Museum is going to be doing an online virtual workshop on the harm of boarding schools. That is coming up if you go to the Heard Museum's website, heard.org. They'll have all that information.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, one of our bigger fundraisers every single month is our Bada Bing raffle tickets. You can scan the QR code up here. They'll put it into chat. It's also on your table, of course, right? So please make sure you get your tickets. So right after the legislators speak tonight, we'll do our raffle drawing for both of these wonderful baskets. If you'd like to see them in person, they're right over here. Mark, who is our treasurer, will be happy to take cash or checks. We'll leave this up. We'd like to take a moment to welcome all of our first-time attendees. And Dr. Janie Heydrich, who's been so kind enough to help us with these welcome packets. And the welcome packet has a lot of information about the LD. And of course, it has our contact information, some little goodies. So we'd like to just go around the room. And if you are a first-time attendee, just raise your hand. We'd like to know your name and what city you're from. Choose me.
Luna.
Luna, and you live in Chandler. Thanks for coming, Luna.
Luna from Chandler. Thank you for coming.
Hi, I'm Catherine.
Hi,
I'm Catherine Worth, and I live on the border of Tempe Chandler, but officially Chandler.
perfect.
Catherine, I have over here.
Hi, my name is Quincy Jacobs. I live right down here in Ahwatukee.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm Kelly, and I live in Tempe.
Sure.
I'm David and I'm from Chandler.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm Phil. This is my beautiful wife, Jolene. We are good friends with Bridget, and I'm so thankful she told us about this meeting and invited us. We're first timers tonight, but plan on making a habit of it.
Thank you.
And we live in Ahwatukee, just a couple miles out in the foothills for about 30 years.
Go ahead.
I'm Carrie. I'm from Tempe.
Perfect. Carrie, thank you. Anybody else?
Yes,
Everybody got a welcome packet. Well, fantastic. Do you know if there's any first-time attendees online? Is that on? I'll switch you.
Okay, now we'd like to welcome any elected officials. If you're an elected official, please stand and we'll recognize you tonight. We have Jennifer Germain, Justice of the Peace for the San Marcos District. We have Tyler Kissel for University Lakes. He's also a Justice of the Peace. I'm not sure if Karen is online, but she usually is. Karen Lathan is a constable for University Lakes Justice Precinct. We have Bridget Bellavina, our constable for Kyrene Justice Precinct. Amy Satry from Kyrene Governing Board in the back. Oh. All right.
Did we get everybody?
Legislators are probably working.
Oh, wait. She's walking in the door.
Let's all just stare at her. And Patty Contreras, our representative. All right, and then if we have any candidates for office that are running for 2026, we can also introduce them. I know we have Tyler Kissel running again for Justice of the Peace and Jennifer Germain. I'm going to give Jennifer the mic for just a second because she has to run off to the Sun Lakes Dems meeting to do her 1-minute stump speech.
Thank you, everyone, for being here today. I'm Jennifer Germain. I'm running for re-election for the Justice of the Peace for the San Marcos Justice Court. It covers the entire city of Chandler and the unincorporated portion of Sun Lakes. And I am the first woman and the first Democrat ever elected to this court. A court that's been in existence for over 100 years. So I'm also currently the only Indigenous person on the Maricopa County Justice Court bench out of all 26 seats. And I would really love your support. I've heard that JD Mesnard is going to be running against me. So he is going to be running purely for the pension bump. And I am there because I want to make a difference in our criminal justice system. And I want to keep working towards ending the horrific violence that has been plaguing our Indigenous peoples and keep working on the gaps. I'm currently the vice chair of the State and Tribal Courts Forum under the Arizona Supreme Court. And I'm deeply grateful to Justice Timmer for giving me that trust to be able to keep pushing forward these changes in our systems and closing the gaps in prosecution. And for those of you who heard about the horrific murder of Emily Pike, a 14-year-old that was found out in Gila County, we wrapping her family in love and care. They're in deep grieving, but also making sure that we are supporting Gila County in their investigation and prosecution of these crimes and trying to close those gaps so that when children go missing, they're not automatically labeled as runaways. She obviously was not a runaway, but that's how she was labeled. We need to make sure that we're looking for our missing children because these are the horrific outcomes that could possibly happen. And making sure that we are acknowledging. Ellen. Yeah, so Ellen was asking if it was one person or many people, and to that, I don't know, I don't have the answer. Traditionally, people on tribal nations have been targeted because prosecution lies under the Tribal Law and Order Act, and it has a maximum sentence of 6 years. So we are working with Greg Stanton, we are working with Ruben Gallego, we are working with Mark Kelly to make changes to the Tribal Law and Order Act to restore prosecution to the tribal nations that were taken away in 1979 under the Oliphant Supreme Court decision. So it's complicated, it's messy, and it's going to take a lot of years to undo some of the damage that's been done. But your courts are holding the front line. We're holding the front line when people are losing their jobs and going into credit debt. We're holding the front line on housing, making sure that people have that continuation. And we really appreciate your support. If anybody would like to come and shadow in the courts, I would be happy to have you shadow in my court. I know Judge Kissel would also be happy, and so will Judge Sauls. Just contact us. We're happy to have you guys come down. Thank you.
Oh, yes, and Jennifer wanted to mention that the City of Chandler DE&I department is fundraising by selling these beautiful State 48 shirts. Are they available on the Chandler DEI website? Any Chandler event. And the reason is that their federal funding was taken away, so now they are trying to get creative with their fundraising to continue the work that they do in Chandler. Next up, we're going to have Nicole Brown give us a quick update about the 2025 Women's History Month.
Yes, it is Women's History Month. So can we start? Can you guys all hear me okay? Okay. Can we start by honoring the women in this room who are trailblazers and activists and volunteers and moms who raise little humans to be great voters for the Democratic Party, hopefully. Can we give you guys all a round of a hand? All of us? This year, the theme is moving forward together, educating and inspiring generations, and it's very relevant to what's happening in the United States of America. When Sherry asked me to sort of talk about this, I went back and looked at the 19th Amendment. You guys know the 19th Amendment is the voting amendment, right? Where it gives the right to everybody, regardless of sex, to vote. That was in 1878. Women still could not vote until 1920, which was 42 years later after that amendment was in place. And that was white women. Women of color could not vote until 1965, 45 years later, right? Where some of us, or a lot of us in this room, were already born or almost born. So, just think of it in those terms of it's not that long ago. And if you think about what's happening in the United States right now under the Trump administration, where women are going to go back to 1878, where they couldn't have the right to do anything without a spouse, a male spouse, telling them it's okay, that's the direction the country is. That's how they want to make America great again. That's MAGA. So we have a duty to understand what Women's History Month is and what it means. And the origins of Women's History Month was in 1970s, right? And it started with 1 week in Sonoma, California, and then it spiraled into a whole month of celebrating women and the activists and what they do to make a difference in the United States of America. And you can name a few off the top of your head, even some people in this room who have done so much good for the state of Arizona or for also the United States. We can name a few, right? Michelle Obama comes to mind. Hillary Clinton comes to mind. Shirley Chisholm comes to mind. There are a few out there that made a difference. And so understanding that is important. Ruth, yes, we can't forget her. We cannot forget her. She did the most. One thing that this election, I'll speak personally for myself. This election was very hard for me because I put my blood, sweat, and tears, as most of you, into getting Kamala Harris elected, and it didn't happen. And then the results of that we see that are not positive. So I don't know about you guys, but I kind of went into a little bit of a depression, right? And it was like, I don't want to do this. What's happening in the Democratic Party, blah, blah, blah. They've all heard me say it enough where they're probably telling me to shut up. But I will say this. I came across a poem, and it's by a lady by the name of Rupi Kaur, Kaur. She's Canadian, and that's on purpose, okay? And her poem is very short. It's called Legacy. And I'm going to read it because it's very relevant to somebody like me. If you're feeling like I was, maybe this will help you too. But it's, I stand on the sacrifices of 1 million women before me, thinking, what can I do to make this mountain taller so the women after me can see farther? And so in order for me to, we have to stay in the fight is basically what I got from that. We can't give up because there are young girls, young women behind us looking for leaders to show them the way, and that's us. So as we celebrate Women's History Month, I would encourage you to go to the libraries, look up books about women, have your kids involved. There's a lot of activities around the cities here in Arizona that you can participate in. And then just get involved and stay in the fight, because it's going to be important moving forward. If Trump makes it 4 years, then, you know, we gotta stay in the fight, because there's nothing left for us to do. So I will turn it over, Sherry, to Melissa. Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Okay. So at our last meeting, we had an election, and I'm going to give you the poll results from the election. The first one was what we were adding an at-large executive committee member. So I want to congratulate AJ. He got 83 votes to take that election. On the next one, on the next slide was, shall we let Justin Heap come speak at our meeting? 70% at 116 votes said yes. But I'm going to just tell you really quick. It doesn't mean that we have to jump in and let him come to our meeting. So what I would like to tell you is that he was invited to another LD meeting in Sun City, a Democratic LD, LD28. He'll be going there next month. And so Sherry and I are going to take a little trip out to Sun City. It's about 45 minutes, but hey, you know what? We're going to support. I talked to the chair today. She said anybody is welcome to come. So there's quite a few of us from different LDs that are going to go and see what this is all about, and before we make our final decision. And so that meeting, it will be the day after our April meeting. So it's the Tuesday after. So I'll report back at our May meeting and or send out an email to let you know what had happened, post in Slack. So I just want to let you know that just because that we all voted yes, I've gotten a lot of emails since then with like, oh, I think I changed my mind. I don't know. So I just want to make sure that we're really ready for this or not. And like I said, it doesn't, like, we don't have to make the decision today. So I just want to let you know that Sherry and I are going to do some further research to try to figure out what this is, because I just want to make sure it's worth it for our LD to bring him in here or not. Ellen? I know. I know. So, yeah, so he'll be at Sun Lakes next month. If he has another speaking engagement, I'm trying to get in just to see what it's all about. Then the last one, overwhelmingly, I want to say thank you to everybody that helped support our LD12 donkey. The donkey has been ordered. It is on the way. And if you do the next slide, they sent me a picture. This is it blown up in the facility. They sent me a bunch of pictures all around it so I could see it before they ship it out. It is on its way, and it will be here in time for the Easter parade here in Ahwatukee. It's going to be a big event for us. It is every year, so I'm very happy. And other LDs have found out about this inflatable donkey and have already been reaching out saying, I would like to rent it from you. So we already have, I think, about 4 LDs that want to rent it from us. So we should be able to, you know, make, we should be able to recover the cost, no problem. So I want to say thank you to everybody that helped support the LD12 Democratic Donkey. This is going to, I love it. I'm very excited. No, it specifically says, they sent me a 66-page document on how to take care of this. I got through about 20 of them today, and I said, I'm going to have to come back to this. No, and there's a lot of stipulations. So no, you cannot write it, no. But it is going to be a hit at every event, I could tell you already. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that helped contribute, that made a donation and voted for it. So it is on its way. I hope to bring it to the April meeting for you guys to meet it. We are going to have a contest. We need to name this donkey. We did not get a chance today to put all of that information. So maybe at the next meeting when we bring it, we're going to have a contest on naming it. We're going to let people put in the little names. We'll make the list and we'll vote on it. So thank you. Our next guest is Lisbeth. She was here previous. She talked to us about the immigration, ICE. I wanted to let you guys know really quick, on your sheets, I put her contact information. So she's going to talk to you, give you a little bit of update, just a couple of minutes on what's been happening. And then she's looking for some people to volunteer to help out. So do you want to come on up and have a minute to give us an update? Do you want me to put those up for you? No, use this one.
So Lisbeth with, thank you. Lisbeth with Organized Solidarity Collective. So last month I was here and we went over the training on what do you do if there's an immigration raid in front of you. Today I'm here to give you a quick update on the numbers. 227 folks were picked up last week from March 1st to March 7th here in Arizona, in Phoenix Metro. It is called the knock and grab operation. The knock and grab operation. From the 227 folks, you guys can Google it, United States of Attorney's Office, only 15 had warrants. The rest did not have no warrants. The administration is very dead serious on meeting their 1,000 to 1,500 numbers. In total, 44,000 human beings have been detained / processed in deportation / deported in the United States of America, the land of the free. From January 22nd to February, so within 1 month. Here in Arizona, last week was the big one. 227 folks literally, and a majority of them were literally taken from construction sites. And we're talking about taken. So fathers didn't go home. Mothers were taken from Burger King, Wendy's. I am here because vulnerable communities now really are not going to church on Sundays. They're not going to the flea market. They're staying home. They're just doing their basic necessities, the vulnerable communities, because of the fear. They're not taking the bus. They're trying not to walk in the street. They're really, like, they have the children going to the market. Like, there's a lot of fear. But we have a huge problem. So the actual human being that needs, let's see the next one. So there's a red card, and the person who needs it doesn't have it. We progressive, we have the red cards, but the person who actually needs it does not have it. But they're not going to the trainings because of the fear. They're not going to church, so they're not getting it. They're not getting distributed. So I am inviting you all. So the red card is here, and the red card has to do with two things. So it has anybody in the United States of America, you have the right to the Constitution. I have attorneys in the house. You guys can back me up. The red card has the Fourth Amendment. The Fourth Amendment is you have no access to my property. You cannot come in. The Fifth Amendment is I have the right to remain silent. When a person gets detained, what happens is they can't talk. They should not talk because anything that they say might be used against them, and it is used against them. But we are very humble human beings, and we start talking because we're not used to getting attacked. That's the reality, and these are attacks. So the cards. I am here to invite you all, and hopefully every month I can invite you all. And thank you to Melissa, because she's been connecting me to many other folks. Thank you to Leslie, thank you to Laura. They've been connecting me to churches, to businesses, and we've been moving it. So this Sunday, I invite you all, if you would like to come with me, and Leslie's gonna be joining me and helping me out. So there's a mobile park right across Arizona Mills at 10 a.m. If you wanna meet with me, meet right here, right down the street. Yeah, that mobile community does not have red cards. We're gonna canvass. The decoy is always, we're gonna register people to vote who are eligible to vote. There's a lot of 18-year-olds that are pissed off that wanna register to vote. So I'm inviting you all 10 a.m. on Sunday. It takes about 2 hours. I went ahead and printed the mobile park. And we're literally going to go door and door, and and people are gonna be, they don't have them. So we'll give them the red cards. At the same time, who in their household are eligible to vote, let's register them to vote. And so what the collective is doing now is we need to go to the people. We need to go to them. And if you have a small business, let's talk. If you know people who have small businesses, let's talk. I'll be over here like last month. like come and talk to me, because we need to get our small businesses, if they have cooks, m- we cannot say that management is gonna be okay with it, but we have to figure out how to give the red card to the workers, you know? So my first ask is, join me on Sunday at 10 a.m. It's a very friendly community. At the same time, you're gonna see a lot of the fear. We're there to register folks to vote. At the same time, you're literally giving them the red card, each household. And most likely, we're able to troubleshoot on the spot. They'll most likely have questions because they haven't been able to go out of the fear factor. Yes. No, but I give you a really great training. Anybody who speaks English can do this, because we Spanish speakers who work in this country know English. So we know the basics. So the red card, very important, and I have a good training for it. At 10 a.m., okay, so we're gonna put your name and phone number. We're gonna meet at the mobile park, and me and Leslie will call you this week and give you more details, but we'll meet at the mobile park, which is right across Arizona Mills. So I'll put it there. Yeah.
Okay, that's at the mobile home is Rancho Tempe, because I know it. I do constable work there. It's on Priest across from Arizona Mills. It's just south of the 60. The light where the 60 is, it's just south of that on the east side of the road. Okay? So 4605 South Priest Drive.
So everybody will be working paired up at least with one other person, if not multiple people. Thank you. Thank you so much. So to piggyback off of what Lisbeth was talking about, the main way that we communicate calls to action, rapid response, things that you guys need to know quickly is through our Slack channel. So if you are not on our Slack channel, which is an app, it's a communication app that we use to keep you guys informed about what's happening every week around our LD, volunteer opportunities, but especially calls to actions and things that need to happen quickly. That's the fastest way for us to communicate that to you. So if you are not on Slack, Susie put her email address on here. She will send you a Slack invite if you are not already on our Slack channel. And it's also a way that you can communicate with any of the leadership directly, quickly. We check it, throughout the day. You guys have access to information about PCs and, all kinds of things on there. So I really, really highly recommend you downloading that app and getting it set up on your phone. But you can do it from your desktop if that's easier. Next up, our next guest speaker is Celina Martinez. She is an organizer with Healthcare Rising, and she is here to give us a quick update.
Hello, everybody. I don't need to introduce myself because I had a really good introduction. But I am a community organizer with Healthcare Rising Arizona, and I see a lot of Healthcare Rising members. If you're one, raise your hand. Woo! Awesome. So there's a lot going on the federal level when it comes to Medicaid. Currently, the House voted to cut $880 billion of Medicaid funding. The good news is the Senate has a different budget proposal. So in the meantime, we are organizing. One thing I found out today is 72 million people rely on Medicaid across the country. That is 20% of the population, 20%. And I wanted to share a couple stories of people I've been talking to over the phone who happen to be on Medicaid. The first one is a mother. Her name is Joyce. She has a daughter named Alora. Alora has a rare genetic condition. It's a STAT3 gene. And she, unfortunately, is one of 200 people in the whole world who has this rare genetic condition. And what this means is that she relies on Medicaid for her medication, for her doctor's visits, for her specialists, and so forth. But altogether in 1 year for her medication, which is a lot of it is experimental, it's over $1 million. And so when I was talking to her, I was letting her know, yes, they're making cuts. They want to make cuts to Medicaid. And she's like, well, this won't impact me because I'm receiving it on the federal level. The thing is, this is why I'm calling, because one of the things we have to do is educate, educate, educate. And so she was telling me if her daughter did not receive Medicaid, she could not afford her medication. She's already has medical debt, unfortunately. And she's like, if I don't know what I would do, I would have to leave the country. And unfortunately, that's not something that a mother should have to worry about. No one should have to worry about whether or not their kid has access to health care and whether they're gonna live or die, period. The second story I wanted to share is the story of Craig. Craig shared with me that he's a Republican, registered, he's gonna change it after everything that has happened. But while he was laid off, he got registered in Medicaid. He enrolled in Access. And when he enrolled in Access, he went to the doctor and found out he has prostate cancer. And so through Access, he was able to get his chemotherapy. And currently he's no longer in Medicaid. He's in remission. But he was telling me one of his copays for his medication is $600. $600. And he was telling me, had it not been for Medicaid, I wouldn't be here. And so I've been calling community members, I've been calling people who help gather stories, and we've been listening to them. The thing is, when you put numbers together, 72 million people who rely on Medicaid, like it doesn't make that much of an impact, but then you hear Craig's story, you hear Alora's story. These are real people that live in our communities. And so we're doing two things. We have been having folks take an impact survey, sharing how they got on Medicaid, why they got on Medicaid, and how it has impacted them. And most importantly, how would it impact them if they were not on it? And let me tell you, like the stories that you hear, they are, takes an emotional toll because they're literally relying on their life for them to have this healthcare. And so one of the things we're going to be doing, we're going to host two press conferences. One in Siskamani's office. He's in Congressional District 6. He originally had stated he would not be supporting making cuts to Medicaid, but very last minute, surprise, surprise, he ended up voting against his constituents' best interests. The second person that we know wants to get reelected, I know it's not in this district, but his name is David Schweikert. Oh, I got a lot of boos. Yes, we don't like him. So one of the things I'm going to be doing is Craig, who I found through phone banking, lives in his district, and he's still a registered Republican. He hasn't changed his thing yet. I told him, don't change it, leave it like that. So he could go to David Schweikert and let him know, hey, Medicaid saved my life. Why do you want to take it away? I am your constituent. And honestly, what we have to do is shame these people. Ideally, I would like to throw tomatoes at them, but we can't do that. But we really do have to shame them. And what I'm envisioning at this press conference is bringing people like Craig, bringing people like Alora, that little 5-year-old, and having him, David Schweikert, stare them in the eyes and tell them, I don't support you getting your treatment. Little Alora, 5-year-old, you deserve to die because you don't deserve Medicaid. Tell me, how is that going to look on him? Well, at the same time, they do care about getting reelected. They care about that. Do you think people are going to vote for him? Come on. We're not going to feel defeated. We're going to fight back, and we're going to give it our all, because that's at the end of the day, that's what they want. They want us to be in shock. They want us to be docile. They don't want us to stand up. They don't want us to speak up. But we're not going to do that. Can I get that? We're not going to do it? Hell no. So One of the things, like I said, we have been gathering healthcare stories. Maybe you went to a rally and perhaps you saw us there gathering healthcare stories. The reason for that are two reasons. Number one, we want to identify if there's people on Medicaid who have compelling stories to share. And actually, in my opinion, every single story is compelling. The second reason is, do they have another healthcare story on how healthcare has impacted them? What do they want to see improve? Now, the reason we're asking this is because this is going to help us decide our next ballot initiative. We will be working on another ballot initiative related to healthcare. That's what we do. We still have that option. Unfortunately, they want to take away that process, but we're not going to let them. And we will be working on it, probably launching in September. So that's definitely going to be something that we're going to be doing, going out there in the community, talking directly to people because we are a grassroots organization. Last thing, so we are working on becoming self-sustaining and getting the funding for our next ballot initiative. So for our Prop 209, we spent $12 million. For Prop 139 for abortion access, we spent closer to $4 million. So we're looking for funding for our next ballot initiative. So if you're not a Healthcare Rising member, please sign up. Where our goal is to recruit 10,000 members who are contributing $20 a month or whatever people can give so that we can have the resources and say directly that Arizonans want to fix the healthcare system. We can't rely, unfortunately, our legislature. We've tried passing bills. They don't go through. So this is our only way to make real change. And that's all I got. But come meet me at the end over there, and I'll be happy to talk to you. We've been phone banking as well. Every Wednesday, every Thursday, we've been calling people who said they're on Access. And so we've been having them take that survey that I was talking about. But that's all I got, y'all. Thank you for... Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Celina. One more quick reminder to get your Bada Bing raffle tickets. Gavin Lee is in the house if that, inspires you to try to beat him out this time. And then I'm going to welcome up AJ. He's going to go over our upcoming events.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ajlan Kurdol. You can call me AJ, and I'm your brand new board member. And I want to say thank you for your support. I appreciate it. It's always wonderful pleasure to work with my board members and to serve you out there. As you know, our LD is very active. We have a lot of events going on. Those events are listed on your agenda, on your tables. Please grab them and then put it on your calendar. Many important ones like LD12, Dems and Donuts, Game Night, one of my favorite, LD12 Dems, Watering Hole Wednesdays. It's all listed. And the one that I want to get your attention is the one on March 29th, Chandler for our City Day. That's the one I want to bring your attention to. This is an event that has been going on for 14 years. If we can go to the other slide, people can see that. The next one. Oh, we talked about this. Another one, I guess. Here we go. That has been going on for 14 years. Basically, what it does, the city picks up a neighborhood, and then hundreds of volunteers gather together, and they start working within a day. They beautify, they change the whole neighborhood. The alleyways will be clean, the houses will be painted, the fence will be painted, and we'll do yard work and everything. Our project this year, it's alleyway cleanup. We need about 14 volunteers, and it will start March 29th, 7 a.m. And then by 12 a.m., it will be done. You will be fed. You're going to get great T-shirts like this. This is really one of my favorite events. I did that 6 times because it's physical, it's hands-on. You get to do something, and you see the immediate results. So I hope you will join me on March 29th for making Chandler a better city. Thank you.
Okay. I am, somebody has a question for you.
Great event
Ah,
will be on March 29th, same day, in the afternoon, Save Our Schools Gala. That's 5 p.m., right? 5.
okay, they can't hear you on Zoom unless you have to come up here. You have, yeah.
Sorry, Zoom. My name's Sarah James. I'm on the C3 board for Save Our Schools. And we have our biggest fundraiser on March 29th. So you can go clean things up and then help us clean up public education in Arizona. And it's 5:30 p.m. We have, the tickets are $100. There's a silent auction. And if you're an educator or a student, tickets are half price. But we would love to have a lot of support from LD12. I know LD12 has been incredibly supportive of education, public schools, and Save Our Schools. So if you have any questions, I have a QR code you can scan to purchase the tickets and check out the event, but it starts at 5:30. We have public schools coming from all around to perform. We have dancers, we have an electric strings group. So it should be a really fun event showcasing all the wonderful things happening in our public schools. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. So we'll make a note of that and get it out to everybody so they will know about this event. I don't know that I didn't see it on the list, but we'll make sure it gets added to the LD12 calendar and gets out there. I'm going to talk about the Ahwatukee parade and spring fling. You all saw that we got the inflatable donkey. We've spent hours decorating up a float. So we still need to build our team. There's a couple of different things. One, we need a team to help construct the float. So we have a trailer. We'll need to put something down. We'll put the inflatable donkey up and decorate all around it. We'll need people to hand out some kind of toy or candy. And then we need lots of people to be walking. Now, I did talk to Secretary of State Fontes, and he is going to be in the parade as well. And they're trying to get close to us, so probably right behind us or in front of us, so we'll be able to walk together. I've invited the Young Democrats like I do every year. But if you can't walk in the parade, that's okay, because the one thing that we do need is we need people sitting on the sidelines cheering us on as we come along the route. Okay, so it is a 1 mile, and it's a lot of standing around at the beginning, but that's okay because we always enjoy some bagels and chat. And then we'll do a 1 mile walk down 48th Street. We start off at Warner, we end up right before Elliott Road. And then you will try to get some vehicles, which is another thing. We need drivers to meet us down at the church parking lot to take us back to our cars because they're all the way a mile back. And after you walk the 1 mile there, sometimes it's tough to walk the 1 mile back. I'm going to admit. So if I'm going to be, I don't have a team yet, so I'm looking to put a team together. My contact information's on your sheets. Please let me know if you're interested in helping out with the Easter Parade. We are going to get some stuff together and we will send it out via email. So look for that and look for our donkey. Oh, Sherry's up.
Okay, for our Blue Business Spotlight this month, we are highlighting Frosted Bakehouse. It is a Latina, women-owned small business here in Ahwatukee. They have amazing baked goods. They are on Elliott and 51st Street, and they're super sweet. The shop is really cute. Their food is great. Janie Hydrick can attest to that. So can Luna. I really like them. I just want to remind everybody that when we're highlighting these blue businesses, the reason that we're doing this is twofold. We want to support businesses that support us, and we want to spend our money at businesses that support our values. And so it's super important for us to share these with you guys for those reasons. And we try to keep it positive and who we are supporting and why, but reminders of places that we're not supporting: Walmart, Amazon, Home Depot, etc., Target now, for various reasons. So please go give them a shot. I will tell you that they're baked good. They have seasonal things that they do every week. They're not open on Mondays and Tuesdays, but they're open Wednesday through Sunday. So please give them a shot. Next up, our guest speaker is Dr. Teresa, but she prefers Terry Leyba Ruiz. She is a candidate for Superintendent of Public Instruction, and she is going to share with us a little bit about herself and why she's running, besides the fact that we just need to get rid of Tom Horn.
Sherry. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Terry, and I'm so glad to be here with you. So I am running for State Superintendent of Public Instruction, and my opponent is Tom Horn. That's usually the response I get when I tell people that. I'm a mom. I'm an Arizona native, and my career in education spans over 3 decades, from a middle school math teacher to a community college president. And I don't know about you, but I'm angry, right? I am angry every time I hear the dismantling of public education on a national level, and we see it happening right here in our state, and it's not okay. And it was that moment last summer, I was actually up in Flagstaff enjoying some antiquing, and I heard on the radio Superintendent Horn promoting empowerment scholarship accounts. And it was that catalyzing moment for me that I said, enough is enough. Never, ever has it been on a goal of mine to enter politics. Never. But I feel like I've been training for this role my entire career. In preparing to become a college president, it's a long way from a middle school math teacher position to becoming a president of a community college. I was a president at Glendale Community College for 6 years. And I served in higher ed for 27. But my roots of who I am and what I have always done has been teaching mathematics, working to inspire students to become more than they believe possible, to help them believe in themselves and push beyond. And I know, if there's any other educators in the house, you know, students always rise to the level of expectation as long as we help and support them along the way, and they're willing to work hard. All of the training I've gone through, I believe, has prepared me to take on this most important role. Education, public education is under attack, and we cannot stand idly by and watch its destruction. Thank you. So I'm angry, but I'm also very hopeful. I'm hopeful every time I talk to community members who are willing to stand beside me, behind me, around me, pushing me forward, because this is way too important. We all know the economic impact. When we have a strong education system, we will have a strong economy. So it just boggles my mind why our politicians refuse to make this strong connection. When we look at any other, we can take any other state in the nation. Arizona cannot continue to be 49th in public education funding and expect to have great results, which is a bit mind-boggling that Arizona does have a thriving economy, but for how long? It is not sustainable. And when we look at some of our sister states around the country who actually do invest in education, their education is stronger. And high tides rise all ships. So I say we double down, Arizona. We double down on public education funding. We ensure that more students are graduating from high school. Superintendent Horn seems to believe that having a 77, 78% high school graduation rate is acceptable. And I say, oh no, it's not. Because where are those students going to go? We also know that right now, only approximately 48% of those kids who do graduate, only 48% of them enroll in some type of education and training after high school within 1 year. 48%. What are the other 52% doing? We all want to live in a safe community, a thriving state, and I say we double down. We get more students graduating, we get more students enrolled. There are so many opportunities, whether it's a CTE program, career and technical education, and the data shows that high school students who enroll in CTE classes have a much higher percentage of enrolling in additional education and training after high school. That's better for the student, that's better for the family, that's better for our community and for our state. And so once again, I say, Arizona, let's double down on education. So my platform, as you can imagine, includes that. Every single student in Arizona should have access to a high-quality education, whether that student is living in an urban area or in rural Arizona. Some of our most beautiful parts of our state are in rural Arizona, and those children may not have access to a high-quality education. And I say, again, let's double down. Every single student, whether they're from a high-income family or a low-income family. Arizona is an incredibly beautiful, diverse state. And we need to honor that and support that and make sure that every single student feels valued and welcomed and that they have an opportunity for whatever they choose to do after high school. So number one, access for all students. Number two, we need to stabilize our teacher workforce. Do you know how many children are starting the school year without a permanent teacher in front of them? It is heartbreaking. It is no different than you can check any industry sector in Arizona. The number of vacancies in every single industry sector is startling. Arizona has over 7 million residents here. There's absolutely no reason why there's that many vacancies. But the problem is we don't have enough students coming into the pipeline. And I think we need to hit it from two ends. Our high school, our K-12 pipeline, and also our incumbent returning adults. We need to make sure that everybody is prepared to enter into this thriving, rapidly evolving workforce. The technology is changing so quickly. We have to make sure that our people are ready to be at the table in a H3. They're called H3 careers. High demand, high skill, high wage. We want our community there. The other end of that is the low skill, low wage, low demand. Those jobs are going to be quickly automated out. What's going to happen? So, number one is access. Number two is stabilize our teacher workforce. Come back and say, teachers, we value you. We thank you for what you do in our classrooms because there's magic that happens in the classroom. And number three, I think we need to make sure that we are funding education so that our students have access to those CTE programs, so they have access to things that we might think that we might not be top of mind, but speech pathologists for all of our children in special needs classes. I was talking with a friend earlier today whose wife is a speech pathologist who hasn't been paid because we know the drama that's happening. That means those children aren't getting the minutes they need so that they can be successful. So once again, Arizona, let's double down. Education, public education is too vital to who we are as a state and as a nation to throw it away. So if you're not angry, come with me and let's get angry together because public education matters. It is our future. It is the backbone of our state and our country. And that's why I am running to be State Superintendent of Public Instruction in 2026. My opponent is Tom Horn. Thank you.
So here's your call to action. Guess what she needs? Signatures. You can go on Equal. Did you bring a printed petition by any chance? Yes. Okay, so she has a printed petition if you would like to sign on the paper. Otherwise, you can go on to Equal and you can sign online. And I'll make sure at our next meeting, I bring the Equal little business cards that the LD made. So you can always take that with you everywhere and get signatures online as well. So thank you very much for coming. Okay. So we are getting ready for our legislative update, but I just want to remind you that we do have the raffle basket tickets that you can get. You can go over there, purchase them online, whatever. This is how we raise money every month to help pay for the room. Our wonderful equipment. We just got a new camera. I hope Zoom people are loving our new camera. So I just want to say, right before I bring the legislators up, I just want to say thank you to everybody that stepped up to help the LD12 Executive Board. Bridget and Peter right here are our tech teams. So thank you very much. They set up the tech equipment, the cameras. The computer was giving us a lot of trouble. We were having panic attacks, but it got it working. So I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you to Margot Herman. She has stepped up to help us with the hospitality. I put her information into our newsletter. And then she has two wonderful volunteers that help her out back there. Those are the people that help us check everybody in as you're coming in. So thank you, ladies. I really appreciate it. It helps us out. A couple other things. Chris Pilgrim, she's helping us to do our rules and bylaws. Her contact information is on the sheet. She's looking for people to join. I don't know a lot of people that are interested in rules and bylaw changes, except for like Jeff and Paul. And Peter is. Peter, you're interested in it. And Chris. I have tasked them with already a change that I see in our rules and bylaws that need to be changed for nonpartisan races like city council and school board members. We do not identify that or I address it in our bylaws. So I would like to see something be put together for that as well. And then I also want to make a point out to Molly Donnelly, where she in the back. She is going to be in charge of all of our postcard projects. So anytime we do a postcard project, Molly is going to be the person to do that. So she has, I don't know if you have any postcards left over. Okay. Okay, so she has a couple of packets for Josh Wheel out of Florida, who's running for Congress. And then she also has an initiative that we are sending postcards to Trump that need to be sent out, I think on Saturday. So she's got information about that. So if you would like to do any of those kind of postcard projects, please go see Molly Donnelly. And then I also just want to say, Krista, is it Texler? Did I say? Trexler. Oh, there she is. So she has started helping us with our social media. She's going to start posting everything. She's taking pictures and posting, and we are getting out there on social media. So I'm so grateful to everybody that just keeps stepping up to make our district just one step better. I mean, we are really doing great. We are getting overwhelmingly, we get requests from the website every day. People are asking us questions. So I just want to say thank you to all my volunteers and everybody that keeps stepping up. We truly appreciate it at the executive board. So with that, I am going to introduce Representative Patty Contreras. She's going to come tell us what's going on at the legislature, even though we know it's not good. But I also want to say thank you to my 3 legislators. I know it can't be easy going in there and fighting the fight every day. And we truly appreciate all your hard work and standing up for democracy.
Where do I stand, Peter? Right here? Right here? Right here? Hey, look, did you notice my knees are working? Hey! For those of you who are new, I got 2 new knees last year, so they're working. So almost a year in, and I see a lot of new faces. Raise your hand if you're new. I want to see who all is new. All right, great. Well, I am Patty Contreras, like Melissa mentioned, and I'm your state representative, and look forward to serving you. So at the House, well, let's see, this month is Women in History. Let me start all over again. Blah, blah, blah. Women in History Month. So I'm coordinating that over at the House, trying to get speakers and all, or our House reps to recognize different women in the House. And that's kind of fun to do. This is my 3rd year helping to coordinate the Women in History. But last week we had the ERA task force come by. And according to Diane Post, which I believe her, she says everything correctly, it's true, is that the ERA is now the 28th Amendment. Yay! So here's the deal, that some states have said, oh, we want to change our vote. She said, nope, they can't do that. Never done it before. And then she said, well, no other amendment, they made the thing about, the amendments took so long for it to pass, since like 71 or 72, something like that. So it took forever to pass. But other amendments have taken longer than that. So based on at least those 2 reasons, she says, and then of course the President Biden at the end of the term said that he was gonna, get the amendment to the archivist, yes. So according to Diane Post, she says it is now the 28th Amendment. So, yay! She actually had some little booklets I should have brought them that had the US Constitution with the 28th Amendment in there. So that was kind of fun. So let's see what's going on. Last week I spoke at LD13 and that was fun to see a group there. They're getting reorganized and trying to build their numbers. So if you know anybody in LD13, Chandler, Gilbert, the Lakes, I think, Sun Lakes, you know, encourage them to get involved over there. They need more volunteers and more PCs, of course. Jeff and Joe were very busy there already getting involved. So of course they're going to be getting involved as much as they can. I did mention to them, and this will be interesting to you too, that there are, you know, how big our ballot was last year, really too big, right? Guess how many House referrals could possibly be on that? Guess. Yeah, 16 could possibly get on there. And how about the Senate? Well, 16 total on the Senate side too for House referrals that could possibly get on. And of course, there's some terrible ones on there as always, especially the putting a death penalty for a firing squad. Yeah, it's terrible. We have some referrals on third read tomorrow. It's the constitutional amendment to make it 60% to change the Constitution and all. So of course, that's the way. We had a fun time this afternoon with Mr. Marquez trying to put 60%, that said 60% of the House members have to refer it to get on the ballot. And yes, so that was kind of fun. Of course, that died. But instead, it's going to the ballot, possibly that 60% of the voters would have to pass that. Now, we passed 139, the abortion, I think, with just at 60%, and then we passed the unfortunate 314 at 60-some% too. So those would have made it, but most other referrals or constitutional amendments don't get that high. Oh yeah, we're going to refer to you to the tickets for legislators. So those are the legislators who'd like to speed around and get off on tickets. You get to vote on that. So just remind me to slow down. So yeah. So let's see, and just some silly things. You know, this really kind of bothers me being on the natural resources, energy and water. And I see, yes, thank you, Stacy, for putting me on that. Yes. But Representative Griffin thinks the reason that we're having low water on the Colorado River is because of the salt cedars. So yeah, salt cedars are drinking up all the water on the Colorado River. That's why. So just silly things that we do. I want to thank you all for doing your request to speak as I pleaded for that. And we got a lot of folks that did a request to speak for my delay in the recordation. Those of you who have Maricopa Title or have property want to make sure you sign up for Maricopa Title Alert. And my idea was that we would have recordation delayed for 5 days so that you would have a chance to get information and make us, you know, say stop. Hold on to it. So I want to thank you all who signed. It flew through committee. I mean, I even had the Republicans, you know, crying. I was like, oh my God, really? So it was great. Unfortunately, did not make it to rules. We got a stop on the rules chair wouldn't put through because the Arizona Land Title Association and the realtors were against it. So unfortunately, didn't get any further. But you know, we'll keep trying. We'll keep trying. And those of you who are new who haven't heard me say Maricopa Title Alert, make sure you sign up for that and get registered for that. It's a good subscription service. If something were to be recorded in your name, you would get notified, and that way you have a chance to stop it in case it's something that's not you. Let's see. I guess that's all. I have conversation with Contreras on March 21st. Couple of Fridays away next from 4 to 6 at Brick Road Coffee. Always fun to go there. We've had really big crowds. Everybody wants to commiserate. So enjoy having you come and commiserate with me because I like to commiserate too. So it's lots of fun. So, or we cry together and we drink our tea and coffee and, you know, cry in that. So I guess that's all I have. So I'll drop. Oh, Stacy, Miss Travers, would you want to come along? She's rushing over here. So thank you guys. Appreciate your support. Keep calling. Keep RTSing.
Hey, everybody, for all the new people, I'm Representative Stacy Travers. Always the last one because of the T. But okay, so I got to ask you guys something. There's so much stuff going on March 29th. I had a big old gossip session that I was going to hold. But if you're busy, yeah, 10 to 12, what time? But you guys are all going to be picking up trash in alleyways and going to save our schools. So should I move it to Sunday? Do you guys want to come a Sunday instead and like a big old chinwag? Yeah, because everybody knows I love a good goss. And I live a good chinwag. And I just want to talk shit about the House and about Republicans and about everybody and let you guys know kind of how the sausage gets made, right? So things like Patty mentioned that Gail Griffin wants to talk about the salt cedars. She runs it every year, and every year we kill it. All kinds of we talked about 16 potential ballot measures. That is only for this year. We're not even talking about the legislation that's going to be run next year. So we are talking some crazy ballots. I got into a huge fight. My big Democratic colleagues, who's an asshole. And I can tell you all about that and why that happened. And so see if you can come now, March 30th, with the location to be determined. And I'll let you know why all these Democratic bills are going through the House and the Senate right now, because the Republicans have a cunning plan. But we are onto their cunning plan, and we are going to thwart those plans. My bill was killed, or well, it's actually waiting third read. But those claim sharks came again, the second year in a row, with really interesting things that they're doing in terms of fake constituent emails and phone calls to people to lie about what the legislation does, which will get you even more mad at what they're doing. But like I said, we'll do a spill in the tea, not on the 29th, but on the 30th. I need at least 10 to 15 people. I think it's going to be at La Madeleine's. Do you guys all like La Madeleine's? They have that extra room on the right-hand side as you walk in. So they do good croissants and things. So come in and we'll shut the door, and then we'll just have a rage session without actually breaking anything, because they seem like they're really nice people and I don't really want to break any of their stuff. So that's kind of me. I will fill you in. If I can get, like I said, 10 to 15 people, I will fill all you guys in on all the crazy stuff that's happening. So then some and more. Yes, ma'am. I tell you what, after a couple of hours from me telling you how the sausage gets made, you're going to want some. But they don't. Maybe I'll do my own little mini raffle. You can have a bottle of tequila or something for the best outrage. Anyway, I will leave it to Senator Epstein, who is going to sound a lot more political-like and much more responsible than my irresponsibleness that I am.
Okay, I know I want to go to spilling the tea with Travers. I think that sounds super fun. I'm going to start out with a little bright side and finish up with a little bright side, because the middle is super icky. But here goes. We had a bill on the floor today to continue the Department of Housing. So one thing I want everybody to understand, when you hear especially the Republicans say, oh, government needs to be more efficient, we need to audit everything. Well, in Arizona, we audit everything. We have an Office of the Auditor General that reports to the legislature, not to the governor. And the Auditor General goes in and does audits of various agencies all year long, all the time, on a rotating basis. And then they come to the state legislators and say, here's the results of that audit. Here's what they're going to address. Here's what they said they disagreed. And the legislators hold their feet to the fire to make improvements. And you know what happens? They do. they make improvements every year. So when you hear anybody complaining about the inefficiency of government, as they say, please let them know that Arizona's system is there and is working kind of okay. But of course, it's another area. The Office of the Auditor General is one that is not funded as well as it should be for the amount of work to be done, but they're working on it. So the Department of Housing had their audit. They are up for continuation because that's another funny thing that Arizona does. All of our state agencies are sunsetted, like the Department of Housing, everything could just end and not be anymore if the legislature doesn't continue them. And so the Department of Housing is up to be continued. Now, the House, the darlings that they are over there in the Republican Party, are willing to continue the Department of Housing for 1 year. And they're sending that over to the Senate. We don't like that. So we want to make sure the Senate version, and keep in mind, normally continuations for decades have been 8 or 10 years. Keep that department going 8 or 10 years. Keep on. Lately, we've had a whole lot of 2 years, 4 years, 3 years, and so on. So we've got a 4-year continuation for the Department of Housing. They put a kind of a poison pill amendment on it. So I got up today and spoke about the problems of the amendment and how, the Republicans in the Senate want us to use our housing trust fund money first for shelters and want to make sure that those shelters are drug-free. Well, that doesn't work with that population for everybody. And what we want to do is have come as you are, whoever you are, whatever you've got going on, come into this shelter, and then we'll move you along into sustainable living. So, few problems with the amendment. However, I made my floor speech in the very nicest way I could. And so when I was done, sure enough, the sponsor of the bill came over to me and said, hey, I'm working with the Department of Housing. We're trying to get to somewhere. Here's where we want. And so I think on its way over to the House, I'm hopeful it will actually become a better bill. It still won't be, hey, Department of Housing, just keep on doing what you're doing. It will have some strings attached, but we'll make them better strings. So that's the happy news, the bipartisan, gosh, we can get along kind of news. It was kind of nice, And then it goes downhill from here, because then we have to talk about the billionaires. So you may have heard me complain. Those of you who get my newsletter have definitely read me complaining about the bills for billionaires. The parade of bills for billionaires just keeps getting bigger and bigger. You may have heard me talk about how if you own a private jet, there's a bill that you should get a big tax cut. Yes. Obviously, we said no. You can imagine when they said private jet tax cut, we said no. Well, today on the floor, there was another one. If you own a private racehorse, you should get special money. Can you guess what we said to that? Say it with me, everybody. What did we say? Thank you. We said nay. That joke comes to you courtesy of Lauren Kuby, because she and I are having a great time in a Pecos Committee. But the bills keep piling up like that. The special treatment for people who have the most wealth. Your 3 legislators are all opposed to the Diamondbacks bill because it is essentially the billionaire Diamondbacks owner says his income tax goes right back to him to fix the stadium. And all of his employees' income tax, including very well-paid baseball players, all of their income tax goes right back to the Diamondbacks billionaire owner to fix the stadium. And all of the sales tax that they make around the stadium goes back to the billionaire owner of the Diamondbacks to fix the stadium so they can make profits on the stadium. The operating income, meaning the profits that the Diamondbacks make, is already twice the amount that they need for repairs. So they have room to pay for repairing their own stadium. The trouble is, it belongs to the county and not to the Diamondbacks. So we're going to work on that. But in the meantime, I am working on a big thing. So is there anybody in here who feels like you want to do something? Gosh, I can't. Elon Musk is a billionaire oligarch and I can't stand it. I want to do something about that. Raise your hand if you want to do something about the billionaires and the oligarchs, and we've got to stop that. Okay, I've got a thing you can do, a few things. So we're going to have a parade, a rally to stop the bills for billionaires. I would like to get a few hundred people there. If we can get 20, that'll be nice, but I'd like to get a few hundred people there. The visuals should be like this. You know, that private jet bill? We're going to say no to that. So we're going to give you red paper airplanes that you can throw that in the trash can. There's one that we should build a big gold bullion dispensary. So we're going to give you yellow papers wadded up like gold bullion. You're going to throw that in the trash can because that's also for billionaires. We're going to give you, of course, white baseballs to throw into the trash can because that's a bad idea. We'll have to figure out something for how we're going to get those horses from the racehorse, bad idea, into the trash can, but we'll do something. We got a donkey. Well, maybe we'll bring the donkey. And of course, is Nick Collins in the crowd tonight? You know, Nick does a great job of, oh, Peter, yes, billionaires. We're going to have the billionaires there. We've been talking to some of the, because we want them to take selfies of people going up to the billionaires with a big red stop sign that says, no, stop it, and putting those on social media because it's not a partisan thing, sadly, giving things away to billionaires. And we need to make sure Governor Hobbs hears us and says, all right, she's got to say no to the billionaires too. And so we need this big visual, and we need to let each other know we're just not going to take it anymore. We're not standing up for this oligarchy. We are going to stop the bills for billionaires because they start as billionaires and they become oligarchs. And one Elon Musk is enough in this country. We certainly don't want any more. It is too much. You got that right. Yeah. She said it right. Okay, so that'll be, we're trying to pick a date. We're getting together with some big organizations. If you have an organization that you'd like to let your folks know about this, let me know and we will get you all the details because we really want to have some bodies down there. We would love some, it'll be April 2nd, 8th, or 15th, or all three. We're still working that out. If you'd like to help me plan it, talk to me afterwards here tonight because we need to start standing up against the billionaires. That's the root of so many of the problems. All right, now I have one last final happy thing. On February 27th, did you notice pigs flying? Anybody see pigs flying? You did? Yeah, that's what it was. So I rail against bills. I vet them thoroughly. I let you know this is what's wrong with the bill on the floor in a speech, quietly to sponsors, but I don't hold back. And that's why I haven't passed a bill in 9 years. And a bill with Mitzi Epstein as the sponsor up on the board never happened before, and it passed out of the Senate. So there's your happy news story. And with that, I'll turn this over to our illustrious chair, Melissa.
All right. Okay, we are getting ready for our treasurer report. So I'm going to let Mark has a microphone. He's going to be over there. He's going to give you guys an update on how we're doing. Maybe Mark. Oh, you, Mark. You're the Mark's treasurer. You got to turn on your mic.
I don't need this. Okay, so we began February with $17,842. The contributions were $7,600. That was mostly about $4,100 from the Decadent Delights. And the disbursements were $2,300, primarily for the donkey. So as of today, the cash balance is, so we ended the month of February with $23,176. And the cash on hand is $22,384.
All right. Well, thank you. All right, so we are going to be opening it up to any new business. So if you are a candidate or you have an event or something you would like to talk about, we're going to ask you to go ahead and come up here. We're going to do 1 minute. You can talk about whatever you have upcoming, candidate you're supporting, anything. 1 minute. I encourage you guys to come up here, line up. And then we are going to be wrapping up our bada bing. So while we're doing our 1 minute business, he'll wrap up. He's closing the sales right now for those raffle baskets. As soon as we're done with our new business, we'll go ahead and make that raffle drawing. So come on up. Well, I have a timer, but you guys.
I'll be quick. I'll be good. Hello, everyone. I'm Judge Kissel. I'm the judge of the University Lakes Justice Court. I just want to say that both myself, Judge Germain, and Judge Sauls are all out campaigning now, getting signatures. We appreciate everyone who in the room who's already signed for us. Fundamentally, we've started hitting the doors this last weekend, and we're seeing the exact same energy we saw in the run-up to Obama's first term. It is people who are frustrated, people who are scared, people who don't know when things are going to get better. And for those of you who are getting ready to start campaigning, I want to encourage you to hit as many doors as possible. There are like-minded people. While it doesn't feel that way, there are people who are ready for change in the state. And this will be the year we finally take back the House and make the movements we need to make Arizona what we need to be.
Hello, everybody. My name is Bridget Belvina. I am running for constable for the Kyrene Justice Precinct, and also Karen Lathan is not here, and she's running for University Lakes Constable, which is on the other side of Tempe. I have one half, she has the other half. And we both, I don't know if hers is back there, but we have our signature sheets back there in order to get us on the ballot. So anybody that lives in the Kyrene Justice Precinct, which is from Rural Road to 48th Street, from deep into Ahwatukee all the way to Rio Salado. So it's there's quite a few of you in there. So please sign our sheets and look for us on the ballot soon. This is my judge.
Hi, everyone. I'm Judge Sauls at the Kyrene Justice Court. I didn't dress up for you guys today. I took a day off. Would anyone in the audience know why I took a day off today? Anyone? Go ahead. You want to tell them? Yes. So, what's that? Okay, today was National Rest Day for Black women, and I rested. So, and if you're wondering what that is about, it's about today. This is around the anniversary of Harriet Tubman's death. And so Black women are taking a rest. We are tired, no matter how much energy you think we have and all of that. But some of the things they tell us to do on this National Rest Day is prioritize our needs. And I did that. I stayed in bed a long time today. And I journaled, celebrate rest and resistance. Well, that's what I'm doing right now. And build community. I'm building community here, and I did a walk with a girlfriend. And so also I made sure I went to see my naturopath today. So those are some of the things we talk about in that. Last thing I want to share, folks who need information on their rights. I cannot give legal advice as a judge, but I can give you legal information. Please, if you don't have memberships or you don't like to read, start reading the Ahwatukee Foothills News, the AZ Informant, and the Tempe Tribune. I am writing legal columns for all three papers. This week was last week was an introduction to myself and about the courts. Every 2 months, you're gonna find out whether you should plead guilty or not guilty. You're gonna find out what we do with evictions. You're gonna find out what happens with the DUI. So that's what we're doing. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Janet Hamlin. I'm running Arlene Chin's campaign for Tempe City Council. She is in DC at the League of Cities. Tempe Council races are up and going. We've got 5 people running for 3 seats. It is nonpartisan, but only 3 of them are Democrats. The 3 incumbents are the 3 Democrats. We have petitions. We need 1,908 signatures. So Jeremiah, raise your hand. Jeremiah's got petitions. He's also got a sheet if you'd like to volunteer with us. Arlene is running for her second full term, and we would appreciate your support. Thank you much.
Give you my 28 seconds.
Okay, LD hat is on. I just wanted to remind everybody that Watering Hole Wednesday is going to be at Freely Tap Room this month on the 26th. So it's a new place. We've never been there before, so come and join us. And now I'm taking off my LD hat and I'm talking about Leading for Change. I am a fellow in the Leading for Change Fellowship. It's an 8-month-long leadership program that trains people that are in the social justice work. Nicole is also a fellow with me, as well as Armani Jackson. So we have 3 from LD12 that are participating this year, and we are responsible for raising funds for the next group of fellows. So we are having a fundraiser, which is May 30th. If you guys would like to join us, you can purchase a ticket. If you want to donate and just help us raise funds, basically, majority of the people that participate in the program receive a scholarship to attend the program. It costs money, and so we are providing funding for the next class. And for me, it's super important because we have a lot of young people, and we know that that kind of a financial commitment is hard for young people that are going to school. And I'm passing it off to Nicole to continue.
Well, we have some fellows from LD12 who apparently did a really good job. Like we have that in the house. Nicole Miller was one. Stacy Travers. Patty O'Neill, who's here tonight, is a fellow. So, and I don't know who anybody else, raise your hand if you are, but just to know, like, oh yeah, AJ is one. Julia's one. Oh yeah, that's Julia. Yep. See, incredible people are a part of this fellowship. So we would like your support and donations if you can. But right now, I'm Joanne because Sharon told me my black card was revoked because I didn't know about National Day of Rest for Black Women. So I don't know how I missed it, but okay. But I am now Joanne, and LD12 game night is back this Saturday at her house from 3 to 5. So anything else you want me to share just is back. If you want to know more, see her. It's at her house. She didn't want to get up and speak, so there you go. All right, I'm gonna turn it back. Oh, you want to come up?
Thank you. I want to read a letter that I sent to Congressman Stanton, Representative Senator Gallego, and Senator Kelly. I am a PC and elected state committee member of the Arizona Democratic Party from LD12. I emailed you on Wednesday concerning my disappointment in actions taken by the elected Democrats in Congress during Trump's speech to the joint session. As I said then, it is time for bold action, not business as usual, and I would like to expand on that. There is strength in numbers. What if every Democratic member of Congress during Trump's speech would have gotten up and walked out in unison when Representative Al Green was removed from the chamber? What a statement that would have been, both visually seen on TV and reported in the media. What a breath of fresh air it would have been for the 2/3 of the nation that didn't vote for Trump. It would have been a strong motivator for those of us who are itching to do something to show exactly how upset and concerned we are with fascism teetering on the horizon, but aren't sure what to do. The Democrats in Congress must realize that it is time to act boldly to motivate the rest of us to do what we need to do. Our fear is that without bold action by the Democrats in Congress, there will be no democracy left to fight for. I recommend that everybody email them or call them and tell them the same type of thing.
Thank you, Fred. Thanks.
Okay. Well, thank you, everybody, for your new business or other business. We're going to go ahead and do our raffle drawing, and then we're going to go ahead and close the meeting. Just keep in mind that we do rent the facility, so please make sure we left this the same way or better than what we found it. All the papers are cleared off, chairs are pushed in, and then, of course, if our tech team needs any help getting anything out. So, Mark, when you are ready to share your screen and tell us that Gavin Lee will not be a winner tonight, we'd all appreciate it. Although I love Gavin. He didn't leave, did he? No, he's still there. I see him. I see your arm down there. Oh, you need to stop your share screen. There you go. Okay. Do you have a microphone?
Yes, I do. So we sold 633 tickets. 417 were for the Hickory Farms. Okay, basket number 1 was the Hickory Farms. We sold 417 of those. And which is going against precedent that the Bartender's Essentials sold only 216. And the people were betting that the bartender one was going to way exceed the Hickory Farms. But yes, so for 417. Oh. $281, which would be Molly Downey. And then it's 216. 166. Patty Contreras.
All right, Molly, congratulations, Molly, and congratulations, Representative Contreras. I do want to let you know it is 7:31, so I'm going to go ahead and close the meeting. So thank you very much. We do have the meeting space for another 45 minutes. Feel free to stick around, sign petitions, talk to your legislators, and make sure you push your chairs in. Have a great night, everyone.